What's up, guys? Ryan with the MXG channel here, and I've just finished up testing this 2026 Triumph TF450C. Yes, it's a cross-country bike, but it's very close to the motocross bike. I did take it on a motocross track. This video is going to be telling you 6 things I love about this bike, and from my time on the 250, this is really going to cover all Triumph bikes that I've ridden thus far. So let's get into it. So number 1, this is the most manageable and versatile 450 that I've ridden out of the box. It has such a usable power delivery in the beginning of the throttle. I feel better on single track and places that you wouldn't normally want a 450 to be. I feel better on this bike than I do any other 450 for sure. But it's not a manageable power that's like because it's a lack of power. It's just very, very manageable in the early part of the throttle. And then if you need more, it's there. You just got to crack it open. It comes on. I was really surprised. And that kind of leads me to the second point of this is the exhaust note. It's not annoyingly loud. It has a very nice sound. You want to hear it? So that's not near as loud as most of the Japanese bikes I've tested and rode. So sometimes when you're riding, you don't realize how connected you are because the bike doesn't sound loud. And I'll find myself thinking I'm lugging, bike's real quiet, and I'll crack it and it accelerates more than I'm expecting. But that's number 2, the exhaust note. It's just great. It sounds like a motorcycle, but it's not annoying like some of these other bikes are. I'm not sure what's going to happen when AMA changes these sound regulations. They were supposed to do it for 26. It's coming for 27. It's going down from 112 to 109 dBs. So some of these manufacturers are going to be in trouble if they don't change some stuff up quick. But this thing sounds nice. It's a very nice note. Number 3, refined high quality feel. It's got that kind of like KTM feel to it, as in like a bunch of machined components, that Euro feel, but you know, it's got KYB and the aluminum frame. So it's like Triumph kind of took the best from the Euro and the Japanese world and put it together. The power plant will remind you a lot of a KTM, but the rest of the bike does not really feel like a KTM. It turns sharper, it turns better than my KTM. It leans easier, it turns better. It seems to have less vibration than my KTM does, which is really cool. And that linear power curve, I didn't notice hardly any stalling or flame outs or anything on the trail. I did have it flame out a couple times, but I mean, that was a couple times in 13 hours. Probably my fault more than anything. It definitely doesn't want to stall and flame out near as much as any 450s that I've ridden. So that's pretty cool. Number 5, the large rider aid switches. It's got pretty much the same rider aids that all the manufacturers do, except they did this one way better. Now, when we saw the teaser videos for this, it kind of looked goofy in the video. Like, why did they make that big? But now that I've ridden with it, like, yeah, it's great. First of all, you can easily see it. Second of all, you can easily switch it on the fly. The KTM, like, I mean, yeah, once you get really familiar with it, you can manage it. But the switches on my KTM are very small and you can't see them as well. This is great. The LEDs are bright. And even better is the start switch. You know, KTM started the on-off integrated switch, which I thought was great. I raved about that switch because handlebar space is at a premium, especially if you're going to go start putting bark busters or maybe a phone mount, stuff like that, especially on the off-road bikes. And we've needed to have an integrated start-stop switch for years. Why haven't we? Why would we want to? So I love that on the KTM. The only problem was that switch they came out with was very low quality. A lot of them broke. They don't feel good to touch. This one's way better. KTM, if you're watching, just put this switch on your bike. It is so much better. Love this thing. There's your indicator right there. Very cool. And you got your hour meter right there. Basically, everything in the cockpit is very usable, very visible, you know, rider friendly. Really, really dig it. And then lastly, number 6 is the KYB. You know, I like my WP stuff on my KTM. There's nothing wrong with it. But, you know, everybody else loves KYB. And I do too. It's great. What I love most about it is that this stuff's been the same for so long. It's very easy to find parts to service these. The forks are very easy to service. The shock's very easy to service. You know, it's, you know, if you've done YZ250 stuff back in the day or whatever, you can do these. This AOS stuff's been the same for years. Everybody likes how it operates, and it's very easy to service. So they kind of gave the people what they wanted, which was a Euro bike with, you know, with KYBs on it from the factory. Pretty cool in a motocross setup. So yeah, those are 6 things I love about the Triumph TF450C. If you're new to this channel, definitely check out my other Triumph videos. I've got videos riding the 250E. I've got videos riding this on single track, turn track, motocross track, you name it. So just a super cool machine, and I'm so thrilled that Triumph is now part of the motocross industry. We needed them, so yeah, hope they stick around. See you in the next one.